There is no doubt that Gog and Magog are two huge nations of the sons of Adam. Anyone who reads the story of Dhul Qarnain and how he dealt with his nation in Surat Al-Kahf will know for sure that they exist, and that the barrier which was built is not metaphorical or imaginary, but is a physical barrier built of iron and melted copper. The basic principle is that we should take this Quranic text as it is, without resorting to any kind of misinterpretation or trying to twist the intended meaning. Before we continue with our topic, dear viewers, we hope that as our series of Islamic Warnings is moving ahead, we've been learning a lot. Thank you very much for your appreciation. In every episode, you will be provided with authentic information about our religion, Islam, and its history, so watch till the end and don't forget to subscribe. Dhul Qarnain, a prominent figure in Islamic tradition, holds a special place in the hearts and minds of believers. Although his exact identity remains a subject of debate and speculation, the Quran presents him as a just and a noble ruler, blessed with immense power and wisdom. The epithet Dhul Qarnain in Arabic has been interpreted in various ways, with some suggesting it refers to physical attributes such as a crown or helmet, while others interpret it metaphorically as a symbol of authority or dominion over vast lands. The story of Dhul Qarnain is mentioned in Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18 of the Quran, where he embarks on a journey to the far reaches of the earth. As he travels, he encounters diverse nations and witnesses their ways of life. Dhul Qarnain demonstrates remarkable wisdom, fairness, and justice in his dealings with the people he encounters. He establishes himself as a compassionate leader, striving to bring prosperity and harmony to the lands he visits. One of Dhul Qarnain's most renowned accomplishments is the construction of a massive barrier or a wall known as the Rampart to protect people from the tribes of Gog and Magog. These tribes were believed to be corrupt and destructive, wreaking havoc wherever they went. The construction of the Rampart, according to Islamic tradition, served as a means of safeguarding society from their negative influence. The Quran has told us how the barrier was built and what materials were used, so it's not right to say that it is a metaphorical or an imaginary barrier. In Surat Al-Kahf, Allah has told us the story of the Muslim king and the great leader Dhul Qarnain, may Allah have mercy on him. Until when he reached between two mountains, he found before them people who scarcely understood a word. They said, "O Dhul Qarnain, verily, Gog and Magog are doing great mischief on the land. Shall we then pay you a tribute in order that you might erect a barrier between us and them?" He said, "That wealthy authority and power in which my Lord has established me is better than your tribe. So help me with strength of men. I will erect between you and them a barrier. Give me pieces of iron." Then, when he had filled up the gap between the two mountain cliffs, he said, "Blow." Till when he had made it red as fire, he said, "Bring me molten copper to pour over it." So they were made powerless to scale it or dig through it. Dhul Qarnain said, "This is a mercy from my Lord, but when the promise of my Lord comes, he shall level it down to the ground, and the promise of my Lord is ever true." Throughout the story, Dhul Qarnain's devotion to Allah remains unwavering. He acknowledges that his power and authority are bestowed upon him by the Almighty, and he uses his abilities responsibly and for the betterment of humanity. His humility and gratitude serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing the divine source of our blessings and utilizing them for virtuous purposes. The story of Dhul Qarnain is mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18, specifically in verses 83 to 101. Here are the relevant Quranic verses. They ask you, "O Prophet, about Dhul Qarnain. Say, I will relate to you something of his narrative. Surely we established him in the land and gave him the means to all things. So he traveled a course until he reached the setting point of the sun, which appeared to him to be setting in a spring of murky water, where he found some people. We said, O Dhul Qarnain, either punish them or treat them kindly. He responded, Whoever does wrong will be punished by us, then will be returned to their Lord, who will punish them with a horrible torment. As for those who believe and do good, they will have the finest reward, and we will assign them easy commands. Then he traveled a different course until he reached the rising point of the sun. He found it rising on a people for whom we had provided no shelter from it. So it was, and we truly had full knowledge of him. Then he traveled a third course until he reached a pass between two mountains. He found in front of them a people who could hardly understand his language. They pleaded, "O Dhul Qarnain, surely Gog and Magog are spreading corruption throughout the land. Should we pay you tribute, provided that you build a wall between us and them?" He responded, "What my Lord has provided for me is far better. But assist me with resources, and I will build a barrier between you and them. Bring me blocks of iron." Then, when he had filled up the gap between the two mountains, he ordered, "Blow." When the iron became red hot, he said, "Bring me molten copper to pour over it." So Gog and Magog were unable to pass over it, nor were they able in it any penetration. He declared, "This is a mercy from my Lord. But when the promise of my Lord comes to pass, he will level it to the ground, and my Lord's promise is ever true. On that day, we will let them surge like waves over one another. Later, the trumpet will be blown, and we will gather all people together. On that day, we will display hell clearly for the disbelievers, those who turned a blind eye to my reminder and could not stand listening to it." These verses provide an account of Dhul Qarnain's journeys and his encounters with different people and situations, including his interactions with the people near the setting and rising of the sun and his construction of the barrier to restrain Gog and Magog. What indicates that these nations exist at present and indeed are attempting on a daily basis to get out and attack people is the hadith reported by Ibn Majah with a Sahih Isnad from Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, who said, "The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said that Gog and Magog are digging every day until they can almost see sunlight. Then the one who is in charge of them says, 'Go back, we will dig again tomorrow.' Then Allah restores the barrier and makes it stronger than it was. This will continue until the appointed time. When Allah wishes to send them against the people, they will dig until they can almost see sunlight. Then the one who is in charge of them will say, 'Go back, we will dig again tomorrow, insha'Allah.' This time he will say, 'Insha'Allah.' So when they come back the next day, they will find it as they left it. So they will dig their way out and emerge to attack the people. They will dry up water by drinking it because of their great numbers, and the people will seek to protect themselves from them in their fortresses. They will fire their arrows into the sky, and the arrows will come back down covered in blood as a test for them, and they will say, 'We have defeated the people of the earth and have gained the upper hand over the people of the heaven.' Then Allah will send worms on the napes of their necks, which will kill them. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, 'By the one in whose hand is my soul, the beasts of the earth will grow fat from their flesh.'" Habiba bint Abi Sufyan reported from Zainab bint Jahsh, may Allah be pleased with them, that the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, entered upon her in an agitated state and said, "La ilaha illallah, woe to the Arabs from an evil that has approached. Today a hole like this has been opened in the barrier of Gog and Magog," and he made a circle with his thumb and forefinger. Zainab bint Jahsh said, "I said, O Messenger of Allah, will we be destroyed even though there are righteous people among us?" He said, "Yes, if evil becomes overwhelming." As time goes on, the signs of the Judgment Day are also appearing, and we should turn back to Allah before we return to Allah. We will keep you informed of all the signs that have appeared and those that are yet to appear. So that's it. Stay with us to get correct and complete information.